Hello, everyone. So, something that was coming to me to share about is about basically divine timing and how reality, time, space, and our lives work in ways through basically what is in alignment with our souls and our hearts, our sacred hearts, greatest visions and feelings of what we want for our lives as given to us by our higher selves or highest selves. If we're open and relaxed and wanting to be connected into those aspects of ourselves and guidance of how we can flow along with grace in living our greatest and highest timeline. So I feel our greatest and highest life in the timeline of reality, of how things come together to create that, to be manifest into reality, into creation through us. It comes through, I feel like time and space is basically connected through our decisions, our actions, our thoughts and feelings first and foremost, and how we take action towards into the things that are truly emanations from spirit, basically our spirit and human union together, working in tandem to converge together our many aspects of self dimensionally and throughout our many parallel lives, converging to the highest timeline that is here for us in these lives. But like talking, I guess that kind of went off on a thing, but into our selves in these lives and bringing together our soul, energy, consciousness, and fragments, healing and clearing and bringing those back into wholeness of us to converge together on what is the highest timeline for our whole beingness. I hope this is making sense. It's kind of going off into other things real quick. And I feel like with things being in, we can really put the highest trust and faith and having patience, being relaxed and aware to take the next right steps, and that everything is in alignment in the greatest divine timing, which is in alignment with what our higher selves or spirits have lined up for us, you could say. But really it's just what is in if we're consistently wanting to be focused in devotion on what's in our hearts and souls, our sacred timelines, our sacred hearts, our visions and feelings from those, for everyone, all of humanity, all of nature, earth, the universe, everything in the greatest harmony as with in correlation to us and our greatest harmony, our greatest sovereignty and freedom and wholeness of being. So I feel like it is very important to be so consistently aware of our choices, decisions, where we're taking yourself along with what is where we're taking yourself that is in a more clear, coherent alignment with what is in our heart and souls, rather than taking so many like side tangent little quests and paths where we could take a minimal more amounts of those to be focused on the main quest in ways. But then there's all the side paths that brings lessons and teachings that culminate together as a greater whole learning, experienced, wise, understanding form of our beingness to go forth and really be our more greater wholeness, at least in clearer understanding of others and ourselves and the world, and how we can best be leaders not only for ourselves in the world, but to help others and remind them of the sovereign divine beings that they are and the leadership they have to take up as their own kings, their own queens, their own royal divinity, and recognizing and knowing their great sovereignty as divine beings, as divine human beings, so beautiful, so powerful, so infinite and just limitless we are as human beings, as our multidimensional, beautiful, expansive creatorships, creators, creatrixes, our creatorship to claim, to know, and to guide, lead us forward. And I feel yeah, take a break for a second, but Hmm. So as we more clearer, courageously make the right choices, the decisions in our own lives that brings us into more coherent clarity with what is an alignment and in store with us from our hearts and souls, we bring that in faster. So you can connect even like with quantumly in the nature of reality and the way time and space really works and how everything's happening at once, but how you can tap into aspects of the future or the past and bring it into now exactly the same, because everything really is alive and living in the present here point moment. We can tap into basically future aspects of ourselves on it in various different realities or like timelines where it is potential that we are more embodied in ourselves, clear and healed, and or fulfilling something and doing something that we see as like a dream, like is of our dreams, is something that we love, desire, want to do for the world, the humanity and the earth and the universe, all nature, and just ourselves and our greatest happiness and joy and peace and fulfillment. We can kind of always quantumly, when we're imagining and feeling what that would be like, we're already seeing a reality that is created and is done, basically. And we can connect with that and make space in our hearts and our bodies to bring in the energies that are more connected, or bring in the energies that are direct wisdoms and offerings from those higher self versions of us. Higher self as is just more embodied or more in alignment with our true soul's giftings, desires, offerings, and receivings of like just the universal conscious source God energy. And we always are that, but we can always open ourselves up to receive more of that in clarity and like choose to actually embody that and do something with that from like our greater highest selves and soul's potential of being. Always here guiding us forward in the right directions that brings us into that wholeness of remembrance of who we truly are and our greater whole sovereign divinity. And of who we really are in every way, and how we have to remember that and bring that into our human bodies and human experiences now in our greater spirit and higher selves, spirit human union as the great like 0 point center of earth, sky, and star aspect. We're the center's meeting point of earth and star to be the wholeness of everything and emanations of our true whole God, goddess, source, fractal aspects of selves here embodied. And yeah, and that's to know and see also through this is how everything that we experience and go through, every little thing is in its own perfect divine timing and alignment to help us more so learn the lessons we need to grow in the ways that we need to bring in, and so we can have more awareness and clarity of, or just more readiness and growth to really be in the present grounded reality, fulfilling and being those things that we see that are of our greatest desires and dreams in the ways that we want to be, which we always can. But yeah. So like if we're in like feeling and meditation, so even what you can do now through this actually, just envisioning and feeling where you be now, from now to a certain point in the future in time, if you were to like more so devote to yourself, your healing, your clearing, your inner work, your meditations, and or your outer work in the exact same perfect balance as within, first emanating so without as well, but in balance so that there's a flow, togetherness, and not too much hold over on one end and you're just out of balance with things. So always like working on the outside to help manifest and create those realities we want, but we can feel now and see into future aspect of ourself that is a higher self version of us, kind of stepped up more and more, and there's various many of those and whatever, but and bring in the energies and the wisdoms. Okay, I can do this now. What can I do now? What is the thing I really want to do? What can I start really doing and embody now instead of putting it off for until tomorrow, or until like the next day or something? What can I do now? And I allow the receiving of all that I need to know and experience now so that I may bring in my greatest learning expansion, my accelerated ascending growth, but at the same time, perfectly in the right time for you as ordained from your highest selves, your higher selves, for you to truly learn and integrate teachings and to truly heal and clear and integrate through that, and integrate like aspects of your consciousness and your soul fragments throughout time, space, dimension back into you, giving space for those to really set into your body, and for like your whole body and DNA to begin shifting and upgrading so they can hold more of the source divine energies as we go in our path to more, as we clear more and just embody more of our spirit, our highest selves. But yeah, and like just the same as like looking forward and bringing in those higher self aspects of us, it's important to also, first and foremost with everything, is always the inner work and the healing and the clearing and the seeing of things and which ways we can do better and be a different way that's now, and more groundingly in practice with that each moment, every day, in which a moment arises that we can practice that certain way of being that helps to clear a pathway, a thing in the past, so you glide past those shadows of the past, loving them and honoring them for their teachings and letting those aspects of self go with detachment. And then for a second, but yeah, detachment, and then allowing in our just, what was I saying? So we allowing in like now, okay, so we're like basically rewriting, our consciousness in our mind in a way by consistent practice of doing things in the better ways and the right ways that are in alignment with us more fully in every way that we know is in a harmony and alignment with everyone and everything else in greater whole loving beingness, like truly divine love as we are to embody in our wholeness. In that, yeah, all that. Beginning to rewrite our mind consciousness, reprogramming rather, and like clearing things out to be that more, making more space for our spirit and highest self, but like rewriting our bodies too, and literally like through our minds and consciousness, and how that writes our bodies and like the ways our muscles, way our bodies are, way we hold ourselves, where we carry ourselves emotionally and mentally, goes into how we carry ourselves physically, and literally like writes our muscles and our fascia system to hold and be a certain way, or for our joints to be a certain way, and our various parts of our bodies to be in certain health and like whole energetic, healthful communication and working together. But yeah, just the same as with that, looking back at certain things in our past where we can clear and we can go travel backward in time to be present with ourselves, as I mentioned before, a lot too, and helping to heal and clear certain wounds or traumas by being with those aspects of ourselves, going back to literally changing scenarios and how you would have done things fully, presently, livingly, how you would have done things with yourself, with others, and seeing what that would feel like, and allowing it to be so, and just clearing that space and making it as it was so, and it can begin to change things not only in your mind, consciousness, and body and reality, but also in like your physically actual living moment reality around you with other people now, with those people of the past as to now. It can literally start to change and transform things. It's incredible by changing and transforming and healing and clearing yourself inside. So then you can make more room to go forward and bring in those higher self aspects of the future into now, and walking and making strides forward, making soft, small steps each day as we feel we can, but as long as we're putting in the work and truly honoring and loving ourselves in every way, then those things will come into reality so much clearer. We'll become more whole of who we are in all ways of creating the realities that we want to see, that is in direct alignment with our greatest sacred hearts, visions, and feelings in every way. Yeah. So I hope all that makes sense. It's just a little thing I wanted to share for a moment, and see you later. Much love, so much love. And blessings. Mwah.